Only when I'm on, yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome. For those of you that don't know me or I haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, I am Michelle MacDonald. I'm going to, oh, look, I think I got it. Share my screen. Let me know right away if you can't see what I see, but I can see some of you, and that's always exciting. So I am an advanced director. I'm from Prince Edward Island. It is a little after 10 p.m. here. My children are sleeping above me, and so are my husband. So I'm going to try to not shout, but sometimes I get really excited. And then other times I'm super sleepy. So we'll go with it. I have been with Pampered Chef since 2017. So July of 2017, I joined 10 days before my wedding because my sister needed one more recruit to hit director. And she asked me, and I said, okay, but I'm not doing anything until after I get married. And she's like, well, if we could just get like $200 in, that would be great. So we figured it out and we made it happen. And here we are 8 years later. So I'm actually going to talk tonight about a topic that I am talking about at conference. So you guys are my trial run. Surprise, haha. So if you're going to conference, the first breakout session, I am pairing up with a senior director from the States, and we are talking about building authentic connections and relationships and how that can help you in your business. So we're going to talk about the know, like, and trust principle, starting natural conversations, and then consistency and showing up, which is pretty well how I run my entire business. So a little bit of information. I am a full-time teacher. Just this past year, I switched from being a math teacher for 14 years to a cooking teacher. Ah, and my husband is an RCMP officer who works shift work. So we've got a soon to be 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, full-time teacher, and an RCMP officer. And we do Pamper Chef for fun. It is fun. But in order for my business to work, I need to do certain things. One of the main things that I do is I really work on building connections in my parties. Now, a lot of these things that I'm going to talk about today can relate to parties, but it can also relate to like team members, organizations, recruiting. It all has to do with one another. So, building authentic connections lead to stronger bookings, obviously. It allows you to get referrals. It allows people to see that you actually enjoy what you're doing and that you're not just there to sell a product and make some money. So, I have this picture on the screen because without Pamper Chef, I would not know any of the people in this photo. This is a mixture of consultants on our team, head office, and yeah, our organization from conference of last year. So I actually feel like when you can actually build a relationship with somebody, whether it's a team member or a host or a customer, then you are fostering that relationship for further business down the line. So many of you have heard this in other trainings because I think I've even heard Courtney say it a couple of weeks ago. Jen said it the other day, but the know, like, and trust factor. So we always want to make sure that when we're meeting somebody, we let them know a little bit about ourselves. We want them to like us, and if they know us and they like us, they're going to trust us. So people just tend to buy from people that they trust. Letting people getting to know you through your parties or your social media or your community will definitely help that way. And I'm going to talk about a couple of different ways that we can do that. So I just have a couple of notes that I'm going to refer to because I don't want to miss anything. But one of the things that I like to do is I use technology in my favor. So just this past month, I was like plugging into Chat GPT and I started with a prompt like, um, what are great kitchen tips to share with my customers in July? Like, that's all. I was like, what can I share that's different? So they know that I love my cup slicer. They know that I love my cool and serves. They know that I cook with my kids in my kitchen. But what can I provide them that I haven't provided them yet? So just using ChatGPT to give me some ideas. I don't go word for word for what it tells me to do, but then it kind of gives me like a list of things that I can use in my customer groups. So I jotted down a couple of them and then I just made it a goal like once a week that I'm going to throw in. a cooking tip for the month of July. So some of it was how to preserve strawberries because it's strawberry season, right? How to make quick and easy meals not using the oven. There's another one. How to prep ahead so that you have healthy snacks. So that's now what I'm focusing my lives on. I find that when you're sharing content of you doing these things, but providing them a solution, then that's when they start trusting you. You're not just trying to sell to them, you're showing off a product, but you're showing how you use it and how it works in your family. So ChatGPT has been a friend of mine, and I just like showing me actually doing the things with our products. You need to find ways to connect with your customers. So, not all of my customers have kids. So, if I'm constantly talking about cooking with my kids, cooking with my kids, kids cooking box, that's not going to relate to all of my customers. So, I make sure to kind of sprinkle that in because that's my life, but then also hit them on different things. So, one of the topics that we're talking about in July in my group is how to prep different types of salads because I've got some older ladies and gentlemen in my group that don't have kids that might like fresh, fun salads for the summer times. If you are a dog mom, then show them how to make dog treats in the air fryer. Things like that. You want to figure out ways that you can connect with your audience. That's not just all about you. And that's where you can gain their trust because they actually see, like, oh, she's like trying to connect with me. When I'm in my virtual groups, so I do mostly virtual parties. Every now and then I will do an in-home or like a vendor event, but about 95% of my business is virtual. So I've worked really hard on trying to start natural conversations. So if it's through table, sometimes it might be a text message through Project Broadcast, or if it's in Facebook, then it is through Messenger. Um, Sometimes if it's somebody who reached out to me through email, I'll ask them some questions back before I really answer their first question. So what I like to do is at the beginning of each of my events, I will send a welcome message to every single person in the party. When you have 3, 4, 5 events going at a time, sometimes you have to space out when you send those welcome messages. So I try to send them the Sunday when my party officially starts on the Monday. But if I have multiple parties, then I'll start sending them out Saturday morning, Saturday night, Sunday morning, Sunday night. And I just give myself some time in between so that I'm not, ending up in that nasty place of the Facebook world. And I keep it pretty simple. My first one's pretty wordy, but it gives them all the information that they need that if they never want to check a message from me again, they don't have to. So it just welcomes to the party. It tells them what we're going to be doing. So they're going to get kitchen tips, cooking inspiration, recipes. I provide them with the catalog link and I say, when you're ready to shop, you can do that anytime right here. And I give them the table link. So every online party that I do, I connect to table. And then I just say, we can't wait to cook up something awesome with you. Get ready for a tasty week ahead. Um, and then sometimes at the end of that message, it kind of cut off, but I'll be like, answer back for a free gift or answer back if you'd like to get something free. And I send them an e-cookbook. That way there for them answering me, then I can kind of give them something free that doesn't cost anything. So I think if you're finding that your virtual parties are lacking that connection, you need to kind of think like, how do you start your conversations with them? Are you waiting till the end of the party to send them that reminder? Or are you building that relationship at the very beginning and then sprinkling some in throughout the week? So I try to do 3 reach outs in every party. The intro, then I always do like a wish list Wednesday. And if they comment on that, then I'll message them back about whatever product was on their wish list and if they want to know more information. And then I have a reminder message at the end of the party as well. So reach outs are really good. And then natural reach outs, natural conversations are even better. So ending with a question, providing them a gift always is helpful. Oh, and then if you're going through your like Facebook or Instagram or something shows up on your feed and you're like, oh man, that person has shared a lot of pictures of food. I would love to host a party for them, or I would love to have them on my team. You don't want to just message them and be like, hey, saw all your food pics, want to host a party? Because that is just like fake and unnatural. And if I was that person getting that message, I'd be like, block, delete, bye. Right? So you need to start that conversation a little bit more natural. If they're on your Facebook, you probably know them a little bit. And I would just send something really super simple, like, oh my gosh, that recipe you shared looks so good. Have you tried it? Oh, my light is flickering. Or even like, do you have that recipe? I would love to see that, try out that recipe. I think my kids would like it, or I think my husband would like it. And then that starts that conversation. And then you can go from there and say, like, oh, I've noticed you've shared a lot of pics on food and cooking. Is that something you're interested in? And then that opens the door for conversation. And I still wouldn't even in that initial conversation ask them to host. I would kind of reach back in like a day or two, right? So when you think about it from an in-person conversation, if I was talking to Jen or Jenna or Patty or Karen or whoever else is on here in person, I wouldn't say, I saw you posting all those pictures on Facebook. Want to host a party? Right? That's just weird. So you would be having a conversation with somebody sitting right beside you. Think of that as messenger. So we wouldn't go right into asking them to book, right? We don't want to rush the relationship. I have down here, you need to date them before you ask them to marry you. So warm them up, have a conversation, and then go for the big question. So that's something that I think just kind of shows that you're actually interested in what they do. And then when it comes to showing up in your customer group, I think consistency is big. So, like I said, I am a full-time teacher. I do have two children. I do have a shift working husband. Yeah, it's fine. I sleep. It's good. Um, but I use a lot of scheduling. So every Tuesday, I'll schedule into my customer group a testimonial Tuesday. And it just says like, let's hear more about some of the new products that you've received lately. So this might have been one that I used right after a launch. If I'm looking at it, that's like the spring summer launch. So people would have just got new products. So I want them to share about those new products. Sometimes I'll pick an item that's on sale. So guess what this Tuesday's was? Well, this past Tuesday's the cool and serves, right? And all it was share pictures of you using your cool and server. Tell us what you use your cool and serves for. What's your favorite cool and serve? Drop it in the comments and you're going to be entered to win. And then what I do is I grab a lot of those little packets of seasonings off of the outlet. You can get like 10 or 3 or whatever ones you want. And that's a really easy mail out with a recipe card. So you're providing them a recipe, you're providing them a seasoning. Yeah, you're paying for the stamp and you're paying for the little envelope, but it's going to come back tenfold. Um, so sometimes we'll do Wish List Wednesday, sometimes we do Fun Friday, share a fun recipe, share it Sunday. What did you do this weekend? It doesn't have to all be related to food. And I don't schedule all of those. Like I don't have a post Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. Some weeks it'll be Tuesday, Friday. Other weeks it will be Wednesday, Sunday, so that we change it up a little bit. But there's consistent interaction in my customer group. It helps with the algorithm. I can't see the chat, so if anybody has any like crazy questions, let me know. Just come off mute. Interrupt me. It's okay. Um, and then follow-ups. Anytime somebody purchases, I use the 222. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not fantastic at it yet. I am still learning and I am still working. I've been in constant conversation with a couple people on our team to be like, connection point, what is that? Which would surprise a lot of people. I have Project Broadcast. I now have Connection Point. So I'm working on making it even easier for myself. So everybody does have their own ways, and I think you do need to change it up every now and then, right? Sometimes wording should get changed, or the way that you follow up should get changed. If you don't know what the 222 is, it's like 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. I'll explain it right here. So the 2 days would be like your first contact. So I make this within 2 days of somebody ordering, and it's just a simple thank you. And then 2 weeks is like, you should have your products by now. So does everything look good? Have you taken them out of the box? What have you used your new product for? And then 2 months, I normally share a tip of value or something like, you've had your goodies for a month now. I hope you still love them. Did you know that you can search up recipes on my website? Here's the link. And then they can search them up based on the product or what they're cooking or anything like that. And sometimes I'll, depending on how the conversation goes at that point, I definitely go in for the ask for a party as well, if they weren't their host. So like I said, like you can tinker that and what the messages are, but the first one's normally just a quick follow-up. The second one is like, tell me you've used your products. And the third one's like, do you need some help using your product? And do you need some recipes? So it's all from a place of service at that point. I do use Project Broadcast a lot. So if we look, I do 3 texts a month to my customers. The first one is normally has something to do with the monthly specials so that they hear about it earlier in the month. The middle one is normally a recipe or a reel that I've tried. And the third one is just like a reach out follow up tip. Sometimes it's like a quote, other times it's like, you can do hard things, let's do this. It's not all business related, but I do try to do 3 a month, and then I send out a newsletter on the 15th of the month as well. So they're normally getting about 4 contacts from me just for being a customer that's still accepting my messages and my emails.
Your newsletter is an email, not a text.
My newsletter is an email. Yeah, I send an email through Flowdesk. And that way there they can click on links easier and see videos and yeah. Um, oh yeah. I don't know if anybody saw this video last week. Please tell me you did. It was hilarious. But I often will have my children in the conversation with me or in the videos with me or in my reels with me. And you know what? I post them if they're messy or if they're perfect. And most of the times they're not perfect. So we're often trying to share how we use the products, how I'm teaching my kids how to use the products. And then by showing them that we can use them, they kind of build that confidence that they can use them. So they might be like, oh my gosh, I've had that twist and chop in my cupboard and I haven't used it. But I just saw you use it to do whipped feta. That's amazing. I'm going to try it. Right. So the more you can show yourself using the products, the more then your customers think that they can use it. It's kind of like FOMO. Um, my best reels are normally short and to the point. They're about 60 to 90 seconds. And the ones that are most viewed are the ones that have my kids in them. Like people don't want to see me. They want to see this little face right here who had no clothes on with a blanket wrapped around him, who jumped on the counter while I was filling my coolancer because he wanted a cherry. And I'm like, buddy, you're live on Facebook with no clothes on. Or oftentimes, like the dog will be barking because we have a German Shepherd and people can't walk by our road or our house without it barking. Or, I'll have somebody screaming in the background that, Mommy, Amy hit me. And I'm like, oh my God, it's okay. You're fine. But I post them anyway because that's real life and that's how people connect with us, right? And I always get funny messages being like, he's so cute. I'm like, he is. I love him. He rolled down the hill at soccer today instead of playing soccer, but okay. So I thought I'd add that photo because that was literally what the people saw last week. It's all good. If you don't post that, then they don't think you're real. So try to be real. Um, and then really my biggest things for this, for building relationships, is just be authentic, be yourself, be consistent. You want to tell a story. Nobody wants to be sold to, right? When I get into groups and it's just like sale, 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 or product, 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 I'm like, mute or leave. I want to learn something. I want to walk away with a recipe. I want to walk away with a tip. I want to walk away with knowledge, not just, here's our new products, buy it. And then you want to make sure that you're welcoming customers into your kitchen. So the more that you can show face, whether it's a reel, whether it's live, whether it's a recording, whether it's photos, the better. They get to know you, they're invested in you, and they want to help you. Like I remember when we were going to earn Disney. It was like late October, and I hadn't done an update on like our tracker of where we were. We were going towards silver, and I had multiple people message me to be like, "When's your cutoff for Disney? Like, do I need to place an order? Do you need help?" Because they were invested in the journey because I'd been sharing it all along. So it's just important that you're welcoming people into your kitchens. So I thought I'd do something fun and just kind of give you a little challenge tonight to walk away with, right? We like to walk away with tidbits and information and lessons. So I want you to make a promise to yourself, and starting tomorrow, you're going to commit to 3 meaningful connections. So it could be a reach out, a follow up, a check in. It could just be a message. It doesn't have to have an agenda. You're not trying to book a party. You're not trying to sell a product. You're just checking in with somebody who's been in your customer group, who's been following along, that person that's like liked every video but hasn't like contacted you in real life. Check in with them. So write down 3 names of people who you can connect with, and then like genuinely connect with them with heart. Don't use the same message to all 3 of them. Figure out how can I connect to you and what can I ask. So that's my challenge. Oh, just a sec. Stop share. All right, now I'm going to check the chat. I see chats. Hello, everyone. Oh no, you have a wicked cold, Wendy? That's awful. Feel better. Okay. Any questions?
I'm super excited to see you at conference.
Oh, I'm excited to see you guys too. I was talking to Kellyanne today. I can't
I'm
wait.
so coming to your session too. If this is anything to lead us into what you're going to be sharing, I'm super excited for that. I think you did an
That was
awesome
just
job and
that
appreciate
was
it.
some
Is that on
tidbit.
Thursday, Mish?
Yeah, at 1.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go there.
I had
I'll
a
be there.
home office tour booked, and I haven't done the home office tour yet. And then I was like, oh, shoot, that would stress me out to still be at home office at like 11:30 and have to be there and ready to present at 1. So I had to cancel it, but
Shoot.
it's okay. That's okay.
Does anyone have any questions for Michelle? I know she did amazing. So
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're very welcome, Pat. You're rocking it.
Thank
Mhm.
you.
It's not hard to build connections, right? When you're just genuinely yourself. It's when you try to like take other people's stuff and make it your own, and everyone's like, that's not you.
Mhm.
And that's the piece I was gonna, not necessarily add. I don't think there's anything to add, but it's like Michelle shared some great stuff and she has kids and people love seeing her kids. That doesn't mean that's gonna be the same for you.
Mm-mm.
So what is it that you are passionate about? What you love that is gonna show your authenticity and people are gonna love it. And you're not gonna get everybody following you. That's not the point, is to get everyone. It's to get the group of people that are like-minded and want to hear from you. Those are going to be your customer base and your host base for sure.
Yeah, and the girl that I'm presenting with is really good at that too. She has 3 young kids too, so she talks about like having her countertop babies and all that stuff. And I'm like, you and I relate for a reason. But she also said like, I talk about our garden. Like I grow a lot of herbs, so I show them how to use the herbs out of our garden and how to use the kitchen shears and how to make garlic butter and herb butter, and like that relates to a whole nother niche of people. So it's like finding your lifestyle and then finding your likes and going with that, but then also getting a read out of your group. So yeah, perfect. Well, I'm glad people joined us too. That's great. Look
I
at
know. I think this has been our biggest group. I'm so happy for you, and it's awesome that hopefully we kind of continue doing that. So I will always do my plug at the end here of these are happening every Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I have all the time zones and all the reminders and things like that. So please take a peek. I'm not going to rattle all 16 of them off, it feels like sometimes, as we're trying to plan it all. And then typically only when it's a long weekend, we won't have a session. So next week is going to be Shannon Simmons. She is going to be talking about sort of rebuilding or rethinking about the next 6 months and sort of committing and refocusing to that. And she's actually got some nice prompts and stuff that we'll talk about for ChatGPT to give you some ideas and some pieces. So it is definitely something that is being used. But as Michelle said, I think very well, it's a starting point. Do not copy and paste. It gives you some of those ideas and things to think about there. So
The other plug that I promised somebody that I would say today is that virtual registration closes on the 9th. So that gives you 2 days. So if you're not able to join us in conference, and I think you've heard a few of us talk about like how we can't wait to hug each other and see each other, have pajama parties and all that fun stuff. But it does close on the 9th, and it's not like you don't have to be there live to watch it. You get recordings until the end of August. You get all the breakouts, the teach me's, the general sessions. So you get to learn about new products. You get products sent to your house this year, even if you're a virtual attendee, you're still going to get some products sent to your house. If you have PC dollars, you can use those to pay for your registration. If you don't know what PC dollars are, check your back office or check in with your upline. You'd be surprised, you might have some. And it does close on the 9th. And I know that the registration numbers are quite low so far this year. So they're really hoping to pump that up in the next 2 days. It's well worth the money. There's hours of training that will be there. So if you're not able to go live, because I know not everybody is able to, definitely register for virtual. And that's my plug.
So what, giveaways too, don't they, if they hit certain numbers? That was
Yes.
in the director meeting, yeah.
yeah, there's new
And
incentives.
giveaways like during conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, highly, highly recommend it. I can't say enough about it as well. In person, I am going, and it is something I do absolutely every year. But we have had a lot of great virtual content. As Michelle, I think, sort of started with this. She was recording for it, and that's the idea, is that those recordings will then be shared with anyone from the virtual side, so that you guys can see those and watch them up until the end of August. So 100%, it is well worth the investment. And it is, I always say it's not a tax write-off, but it goes towards your taxes and tax deductible type stuff. I'm not the accountant in my family. That's someone else, but I give it to him as a receipt to go against my business.
Yep. Perfect.
I only have one small quick question. Stephanie and parents' iPhone, if you guys could type your names in the chat and I can tag you guys when I post this, that would be awesome. And celebrate that we actually got up to 9 people. And to be honest, I'll probably end up doing a draw and send somebody something, because I'm so excited that we have hit the most numbers that we've gotten. So great job, Michelle. Everyone wants to come see you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
But Stephanie Deering is the Stephanie. I don't know who the parent's iPhone is, so that's hilarious.
I know. I was like, So maybe you're listening, maybe you're not. If you don't get it, sorry, I didn't tag you.
And Wendy was on. Oh, she's there. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
she's still on.
Oh, she's still there.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Well, have a great time,
Awesome.
guys. And we'll see you all back here next Monday for Shannon.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank
Thanks, guys.
you.
Thanks, guys.
Right.
See you Sunday, Jenna.
Yep.